the best way to ask for help?
Asking them as much as you can about how to get to where they're at. That's really just my mantra, is just following what others have paved and done before, and using them as mentors to get to where I want to go, and use their success as a path to my success.
Welcome back to DJCC On Air, the remix edition. I'm Sarah Crilley.
And I am Robin Lehrman.
And we are all about winging it today. Literally.
We are.
It is really important to wing it as a young professional.
Absolutely.
I mean, it's not like you are always prepared all of the time, and I think we need to just kind of accept it.
Yeah. And I feel like in the Dallas Junior Chamber, this is a place where we can come and kind of experience or experiment with those times, Maybe I think my first networking event was here at the Dallas Junior Chamber, and I came to one of the happy hours, and people started asking questions, and I was so nervous that I just kind of had to wing it.
Winging it. Same here. I mean, when I went to my first event, it was kind of, the pressure was on because they had said, "Hey, we're gonna give our elevator pitch." What's an elevator pitch? And I had to wing it.
Yeah.
I think I rambled on the longest, but I'll be damned if they didn't remember me.
That's right.
Winging it.
Oh, you're hard to forget anyway.
I love that. Hey, Andrew, have you ever been in a wing it situation that you could share with us?
Oh, absolutely. One time I was thrown into a short film. I was asked to be like a character with lines and a costume and everything, and I had about a 10-minute notice, and it was like a favor I was doing for like a director friend, and there was like a crew of like 50 people, and I was like, I don't know what to do. I don't know how to act. I don't know how to be on set. So I tried my best. Hope I did well.
And how did it go?
Oh, it went. I embarrassed myself pretty darn hard that day. Dropped gum out of my mouth on camera, forgot my line on camera, tripped on camera, but I made it into the film. So.
There are some people who are much better at winging it than others, and it truly is an art.
It is kind of a fun conversation because, again, it is all about being authentic as a young professional and kind of sharing each other's journeys along the way. The remix edition of DJCC On Air. We'll be right back.
Three, two.
You got to do the wing it dance, right? And we're back, and the king of winging it with no introduction needed, C3, welcome to the show.
Hey guys, thanks for having me. Super excited to be here.
I mean, of course, we absolutely have been dying to get you on the show, but when given the opportunity to be on a show about winging it, what was your first thought?
How am I going to wing this?
Sounds like a blast, right?
Right?
How am I going to wing this?
Right. How am I going to wing it? But I knew it was going to be a blast. You guys are awesome. I mean, come on. How could I not want to be on y'all's show? Yeah.
Thanks. C3. Okay, so C3 is a young professional. You wouldn't believe it. He is just the young age of 25. He carries himself so professional, which is fantastic. Not to say that 25-year-olds are not professional, but I mean, you just carry yourself much older and much more mature. So I hope that you receive that in a very complimentary sort of way.
Well, it's received very well. Thank you so much. I work on it a lot, and I think it's just who I surround myself with is really just the key to getting that connotation of yourself that you're a professional and you're here, right? This is your time, so act like it. So that's my persona and take on stuff. So.
Woo. How do we do that in winging it and still feeling professional?
It takes a lot from inside. You really have to just kind of put your fear to the side and just run with it and just be confident. And it just takes time, but over time you get help from others. And that's really what helps me, is having mentors that I can look up to and ask advice to and critique me on things that I need help with.
What is the best way to ask for help?
There's an old saying, if you don't ASK, you don't GET, right? So asking is the form of a compliment to me. So if someone's going to come ask me a question, it means that they're seeking advice from me, right? So I kind of do the spin on it with my mentors. It's like, hey, if I didn't have you guys as mentors, I wouldn't be seeking your advice. So that's just kind of my take on it, is just going to your mentors and learning from them, and asking them as much as you can about how to get to where they're at. And that's really just my mantra, is just following what others have paved and done before, and using them as mentors to get to where I want to go, and use their success as a path to my success. So,
Wow. So you use it in the breath of a compliment. I'm coming to you because I trust you. So how could they say no, right?
Right. It's almost like, if he's actually putting in the work, why would I not want to help him? Because he's actually interested in doing better and doing more by coming to me for advice, right? So.
What do you think about that, Robin?
I think that's fantastic, and I feel like if you don't ask, you learn a lot from asking. You don't get that information. You don't get somebody else's ideas, and in winging it, I feel like a lot of what we've heard is the confidence is just to take it and run, and in asking somebody, it shows them that you right, like you said, like you value them, you value their help, and I think it's great.
What about in, I guess, the season of I'm going to take the opportunity? I don't know exactly what I'm going to say, but you seize the opportunity. Are there times in life, especially as a young professional, where you're like, I think this could work. I don't know exactly how it's going to work, but I'm going to make it work. Are there some times that you can tie back to in your journey here in the young 25 years that you've walked this planet, where you're like, I don't know, but I'm just going to try it?
Yeah, I mean, that's a great question.
How about the podcast that you're on?
Yeah, I mean, there's just...
Not this one. C3
Right.
is the co-host of a
Cliff's
very
Notes.
well-known podcast called Cliff Notes. You can go ahead and pitch it. Tell us what it's all about.
Cliff's
and how
Notes?
You winged it.
Let's see. So I had no experience. By the way, Cliff's Notes is on Facebook. If you're ever looking to watch, go to Cliff's Notes podcast.
And
You
what's
can.
it about?
It's about real estate, and it's about how the company that we're with is changing people's lives, and how it's able to allow them to replace the showing houses all the time with some passive income that can help them do things outside of real estate that they want to do. Maybe is that giving back to somebody, or if they want to go help a charity and stuff like that. However they want to use that money, but it's been life changing to people, and we like to highlight that in the sense of just hearing their story, what's working for them, and really just how genuine the conversation is with somebody that you have a vested interest with because you're at the same company and you're all wanting to succeed together. And so how I got into the podcast is literally by winging it. And so it just, you never know what you're going to get into. And it was just all of a sudden that my dad was like, let's start a podcast. And so he's like, you're going to be on the show. I'm like, no way, I hate TV. Even now I'm nervous. I'm shaking a little bit, but you just got to wing it.
Well, I'll say this about Cliff and his dad, because C3, we call you C3. 'Cause,
Right.
Your dad, Cliff.
He's
and
junior.
Cliff,
I'm the third. Yeah.
Which is a story within itself. We'll have to
Pretty
talk
much.
about later.
Oh, yeah.
But they prepare, almost overly prepare, but there's no preparing really, because you know enough about your guest, you know what you're going to say, but then all lights, camera, action are on.
And it's
that
live.
Feeling. And yours is live.
It's not recorded. Yeah. So it's live. If you mess up, but you move on and you learn from it. And that's the biggest takeaway as far as winging it. When to step in and when not to. And then having that question and then being able to articulate it to a point that the audience understands. And not talking too fast or talking too slow, but just finding the medium as you go, episode after episode. I just kept getting better and better. And it's just the act of doing, essentially, when you're winging it. It's just doing it. And then being confident that you can wing it is the second, part of it. And the third part is just putting a smile on and just being happy. And then it all falls into place. I know I'm not probably describing that correctly,
you
but.
Are. And I want to end with Andrew here because he's been on a marathon today. I think at the beginning, first episode, 000, you were winging it, right? Be honest. But now he's
Yeah. Winging it is a generous term, but like you said, the more you do it, the more you embody the spirit of confidence, the more you believe in yourself, the more you start to project that confidence in sort of a genuine way. And I'm on like day 3 or 4 sort of training here to become a full podcast producer.
And you're doing a great job.
Thank you. It's just in this week alone, I feel like I have just, improved leaps and bounds, and I feel it inside and outside, and a lot of it is, letting myself think I can do it, so I'm going to do it well. Just like y'all said.
Right. It's back to the mindset, though. You have to believe it that you can wing it, right?
Yes.
If there's any doubt in your mind, you're not going to accomplish what you're trying to get done, right? So my biggest thing is who you surround yourself with, what books are you reading, what are you listening to, what are you watching? And, it comes with time as well, but being consistently active in the doing of, things that are going to propel you to get that confidence to wing it. So that's just my 2 cents. And I love his shirt, by the way. He has an amazing shirt.
You are all very sharply dressed. I
Thank
need
you.
to up my game for sure.
No,
For the
no.
audio version, they are just decked out to the nines, different pops of color. We need to have some kind of an attire expert on and have these two host it.
I love it.
To our listeners and our viewers, we want to encourage you with the Dallas Junior Chamber. Even though you don't have it all figured out, we are here to help you navigate that journey as a young professional, always reinventing yourself, always in our remix edition, sharing what we know with others. And we will be back with our next edition with DJ CC On Air Remix. And we're going to pop it up. Thanks so much for watching or tuning in to this edition of DJ CC On Air. We post all of our episodes on YouTube and also the audio content on where you find all of your podcast platforms, iTunes, Spreaker, SoundCloud, you name it, we're there. The Dallas Junior Chamber was established in 1918. That's right, we're over 100 years old. We just celebrated our centennial, and we are so excited to get the next generation of Dallas area young professionals connected with us. Whether that's networking events, professional development, philanthropically, and more. We have so many ways to get you connected and involved with the Dallas Junior Chamber. So make sure to connect with us on social media. We're active on YouTube, Facebook, LinkedIn, and Twitter. And of course, make sure to check out the next event that we have coming up on our website. That's www.dallasjuniorchamber.com. A special thanks to our sponsor, Real News Communications Network, for assisting us in all of our content capabilities, whether that's doing our podcast and all of the broadcast studios and equipment that Real News PR provides. We appreciate it. Real News PR and Real News Communications Network broadcast studios are headquartered in Dallas, Texas.
It's gonna be fun.